Okay, let's start with the rillette.
Sounds good.
The rillette is really a special dish that you have in country bistro in France. It's always done with pork, and quite fatty pork, about 50% fat. In that case, we do a rillette of rabbit. So about 3 pounds of pork, why don't you put it to cook? I cut my rabbit here, the 2 legs. Okay, Claudine, you want to put the seasoning in it?
All right.
And
we have thyme. What's this, allspice?
Allspice.
And just pepper.
This.
And of course some salt.
Cut this and the back of the rabbit in like 3 pieces. Everything is going to be taken off the bone, so I want you to put about a cup of wine in there.
1 cup.
White wine. And water, about 4 or 5 cups of water. Now you want to cover this, bring it to a strong boil, lower your heat so it has to boil very gently for like 4 or 5 hours. You know,
wow.
At the last, yes, it has to be falling apart, you know. So let's let it cook for a while. Okay, so this is really reduced, you know, as you can see. All of the juice is gone, all the wine is incorporated. All I have left here
it's just the meat.
The rest of that gelatin, you know, of the meat. If you want, if you are afraid, you can put it back on the stove now, remelt it, and bring it to a boil. But my fingers are impeccably clean, so.
Yes.
You see, there is a certain amount of the mixture of the fat in it. It has to be highly seasoned, you know. And we're going to be ready to mold it now, Claudine.
Okay, let me get some molds.
And this is a nice container, you know.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Now, if I want to keep this for a couple of months, and I'm saying a couple of months in the refrigerator.
Really?
Yeah, because that's what they used to do in France in the farm, you know. You pack it really tight, as I've done here. And then you pour a little bit of melted, you know, either pork, this is lard, you know, on top of it. You don't eat it anyway. You put it on top, that gets hard. I have one over there. And that, now it's going to get preserved. When I was a kid, the farmer used to do that and keep that into the cellar, you know. They were ready to use it. You know, they would take the fat off, where they would use the fat anyway, because this was, as I say, nothing wrong with it. It's just other protecting. And then, that's it. You're ready to use it. You want to serve that with cornichon. You know, you can do a couple of designs like this.
Papa, I gotta say, your rillette rule.
The rillette rule.
Totally.
Okay. And what we are doing here, which you can do a couple of days ahead, to it a red berry soaked cake. So I have a sponge cake type that I made here, and I already slice it into about half-inch slice. I have all the trimming, I'm going to use all of it, but we need to do a lot of the filling. So about 8 cups, yes, about 8 cups of berries, you know, different types of berries.
Strawberries.
Raspberry, and we can even use some frozen one here. I have some blackberry here, or boysenberry.
These are cherries, but
This
they're
is cherry, yes.
pitted.
Those are beautiful. So again, depending on what's available at the market, you can really do whatever you want. Since we are not putting sugar here, I'm putting 2 cups of strawberry, or raspberry preserve rather. Yeah. All right. Can put a dash of Kirschwasser if you want. A little bit of cognac. Okay, so we have to strain this now. Oh boy,
Whoa.
I still have pieces. So I'll put it back in there after. More.
Do you want me to
No,
scrape?
don't. No, that's exactly what you don't want to do.
Excellent.
Okay? No, people do that with a spatula. They do that. Each of the seeds goes in one of those small holes, and that's it.
Oh.
So what you do is this. You bang it so that, you see? Okay, this is almost all seed. Okay, now I can finish it up. Since I have more to strain, I have another strainer.
Okay.
I mean, normally you would want to wash this and start again, but
That's the only time you're going to push down is right at the end.
right at the end, because now it's kind of plugged, you know. Another thing that you can do, you know, you can take all of those berry, all of that seed rather, and put that in vinegar, you know, to do a raspberry vinegar type. Yeah, flavor
Sounds good.
your vinegar for free. Okay.
All right. It's good?
Okay. So we should have about 4 or 5 cups of the berry sauce here. Remember, half of it is going to be used in the cake, and half of it is going to be used to serve with the cake. Now, this will work in there. This is what, an 10 cup. I think to be sure that it's going to come out, I'm going to put that in the bottom to be sure that I have no problem with it later on. Let me start gently. That's it. If it breaks, you push it back into it.
Okay.
Okay, you see, I have a bottom totally nicely covered here. That's what I want.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so now put this out of the way. This I want to cut slice about to go to the top, so they have to be about as thick as that. So slice about like this to put inside, and maybe a little bit like this because
it's a
so
circle.
it's a circle. So we put that on top. Oh, it's still too high, right?
Yes, but not by much.
Okay. Like this.
I think that'll be perfect.
Okay. The other piece. Oh, this is trimming from the outside, so I want to put it inside. Well, this could actually go this way, doesn't matter, as long as you don't see it. Okay. Now it's about full, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. So give me the cognac there. Put a little bit of cognac or brandy inside to moisten the cake if you want. And then I start putting a little bit of that in the bottom.
Oh, just like that?
Yeah. And now you want to ladle some stuff in there. Yeah. At least put another one. Okay. Now
So
there.
that's-
More stuff.
Okay.
Go ahead again
Now
with the berry.
more ladle.
Yep. This one out. Keep going. See, this is good because, as I say, it should soak at least 24 hours to really soak through the cake, you know. So the whole thing is a block in the center, a block of berry and cake. This on top,
It's just
this around. I have a little piece here to put.
and this you just
Piece there, piece in my mouth.
and a piece in
there.
mine.
Okay, put that on top. Put a piece of plastic wrap here.
Okay. You want to push it.
Push it, really soak it. Like this. You see, starting going through it a little bit here, but it should absorb into the sponge to form like one block. You know? That goes into the refrigerator. This goes into the refrigerator for tomorrow. Then in addition to that, we're going to do a custard. So bring me the stuff for the custard. We want to do a small custard to serve in addition to the berry sauce. So I have 2 egg yolks here. Okay, a little bit of vanilla. Okay, I have 2 egg yolks, and conventionally, when you do a custard, you work the sugar and the egg yolk together This is coming to a strong boil, and as
That
soon as it's
magic
really
moment.
boiling, I got it right on top of it to cook my egg yolk. Yeah, that cooked the egg yolk. So I may have little pieces in it, so I put a bit of my gelatin in there now, and sugar. In fact, you know what? We should have mixed the sugar and the gelatin together, but doesn't matter. Yeah, we're gonna strain that on a thing with ice underneath, because what I want to do is to cool it off. Okay. Now the gelatin is going to start setting up. Now you see, you do have
Little pieces of egg.
little piece of coagulated eggs, you know, got it hot, but this is cooked now, so that's good. So put a spatula in there to cool that off on ice.
So just kind of.
Yes, working, because it has to be tepid for me to put the cream in it. And I'm going to do a bit of whipped cream to put in there. So I have a cup of cream here. You see the way I beat the cream here? It's not like egg white where you lift it up and inflate it. You go back and forth into an emulsion. And for that type of mixture, just go slowly there, just to... If this is allowed to cool by itself, of course, it will get gelatinous, holding, because, gelatinous in the sense I put gelatin in it. So it will hold a little bit. That's why I want the texture to be a bit thicker than it would be normally if I didn't put the gelatin. Especially on a summer day, if you serve it outside, put your finger in it and see the temperature.
Oh, it's cool.
It's cold or cool?
Cool.
Cool, okay, so that should be pretty close to what I want. So you can take that out now if it's cool. Put it there.
Yep. Just get rid of this.
Okay.
Am I folding?
Well, yes, but the folding is less important. Let me stir it with the,
with the whisk.
the whisk here. Okay, and that's it. So this has to go in the refrigerator covered, eventually get hard. And now let's do the other dessert. I have some melted chocolate here.
desserts.
Yes, you need at least 2 desserts when you do that type of stuff. you know?
Yes.
Alrighty. So you have chocolate melted with milk here.
Okay.
So we're going to do a chocolate gourmand, I call, which is basically a type of nice chocolate mousse, I have to beat egg white here. And what I'm going to do is to give you that egg yolk to put in the chocolate. So I'm separating my egg. That will thicken your chocolate lightly. You have a little whisk here.
Little whisk.
Okay.
Just.
That's it. Just stir it in. And during that time, does that thicken it a little bit?
Yeah, it does. It also kind of changes the color a little bit. It looks creamier.
Okay, that's enough.
Oh.
And now put a little bit of cognac.
Like that?
Yeah, that's plenty. So my eggs are about fine now, holding thick, you see? Put my sugar in there. Go ahead. Okay. See, it's nice and elastic. So you see my egg white in there.
Perfect.
And now the cream. I have a cup of whipped cream here, so you can put all of that together. Now I'm folding it in. Okay, it should be nice and smooth now, and of course it's going to get hard by the time we set it up. So you have to put that in the refrigerator now, uncovered, a couple of hours until it's set hard, then you cover it. Well, we're going to teach you how to play boule, or what we call pétanque, particularly in the south of France. It's played all over France. And I have my 2 friends here, Alain and Jean-Claude, and I'm really going to beat them hard today. They don't know it yet. So the rules are easy. The first thing you have a glass of wine. That is the first thing. You want to get your glass?
Hey, cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Do it. Of course, I am... That's too far, you see, that's too far.
Yeah, elle est
Okay.
partie.
That's pretty bad. Ah, that's much
That's the
better.
best.
Ah, dis,
Ooh,
regarde
that's
ça
good.
un peu.
That's what we call a bib. When he kiss the little one there.
Ça serait beau aussi. Hein?
Oh, merde.
Wow.
Ça, c'est le plus beau.
Wow, encore.
Okay, we have to shoot there.
Pas encore. Wow. Oh,
Set. I already have 2 points, so another point
No.
for me, right?
What?
What do you mean? You have only one.
I gotta have a glass of wine
You
there.
don't mind, hein? Allez,
Ah, votre les mecs.
La tienne.
à la tienne, Pépin.
Okay.
À la tienne, à la tienne.
I'm really the best, huh?
Oh, that's your tour.
No,
I make one.
Oh, that's yours.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Okay, so you're
That's
the best.
mine. I'm
No,
the
no,
best.
no, no.
All right,
We,
okay.
it's 1-1-1. So we
One,
are the
one,
best
one.
here.
That's
What do you
right.
mean 1-1?
I had one, you had one.
No, but you cheated.
I didn't cheat.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Another thing that we are going to do in our big banquet menu here is a grilled shoulder of veal with an herb butter, and that I can do ahead. So I'm going to do the butter now because it will save me some time. So I have tarragon, I have chervil, I have basil here, all from the garden. You know, in full summer I get crazy with all the herb of the garden. So I'm going to cut that coarsely. You can put 2 sticks of butter in there. That's a real. You want the butter to be soft, huh?
Yeah, it's soft.
Is it soft?
Oh, it's soft.
Good. We have that in there. You want to put some salt and pepper. And I'm going to giving you a little bit of lemon juice, just through my finger, right?
Is the lemon juice for flavor or for color or
yes,
for?
flavor mostly. This is a great thing to do, you know, because sometimes you do herb butter and you can roll it into a little piece of plastic and freeze it. Cut a piece when you do a steak, a piece of chicken, you put it right on top, it melts, and that's really good. All right,
Okay.
now, it's great, you know. People will help themselves with this.
Perfect.
That's it. Ça c'est beau aussi, tu vois. I think I have all the herbs in my garden, but I always get excited when I go to a nursery. You know, there is always new one, exciting one.
Oui, 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 oui. C'est ça.
There is nothing like cooking with fresh herbs.
Sometimes I don't know if you should use fresh herbs or dried herbs or which you should use. What do you think?
Whatever you like. I mean, it has a lot to do with the type of cuisine you do. It has a lot to do with your own taste. For example, don't give coriander or cilantro
To my godfather.
to your godfather.
Ever,
He'd
yes.
be crazy. When you cook something, a long time cooking stew, a beef burgundy, and you have thyme, you have bay leaf, too, those are usually dry. You have them fresh, it's perfectly fine. But when we talk about fresh herb to put on salad and all that, think of it, usually you talk about those green tender herbs. And that would be the parsley, that would be the chive, that would be the tarragon, that would be the chervil. Test it, take a little piece of thing. I mean, go to the market, like you have dill, beautiful dill here. Just a little piece, say, I like the taste. It's slightly anisey taste. You say, oh, I don't like anise, or I love anise. That's good with cheese or with
Fish.
fish, it'd be great.
Yeah. You made a really neat point by saying things that you could actually pull off and eat
Yeah.
are things that you would usually have fresh, and things that would be too strong to pull off and eat would be herbs that you would usually use dry.
Too strong or too tough. Mm-hmm. You know, hard like.
Like you don't like eat a piece of rosemary.
Hard, no, fresh,
No.
like that. But it gets flavor.
Well, you know, Papa, I mean, you've always had a huge garden in the country, but in the city where this little mouse lives, I have this type of stuff out on the balcony.
That's good.
So I have, well, my rosemary isn't quite this big, but I have thyme, and there's oregano over there, some nasturtium, and some nice flowers just to make it pretty.
Yeah, you don't
So-
eat the flowers?
No.
No, okay. There is nothing like fresh herb in the summer, in the garden. The classic omelette, aux fines herbes, you know, fine herbs omelette. You have 4 herbs we use in France. It's parsley, tarragon, chive, and chervil.
I'm glad you didn't quiz me.
And nothing as good as fresh basil with tomato
Ah,
and
that's the
mozzarella,
best.
right? Okay, Claudine?
Yep.
I'm boning that large shoulder of veal. I don't really take much out of it, but I figure I would take out the bone from the shoulder here. All I want to put on top is salt. You want to get me a tray for that, Claudine?
Okay, hang on.
Pepper, a little bit of oil. This is a great thing to do for a big party. I love to do that, you know, because that cook for hours on the barbecue. Okay. You see the end of that bone here? That's all shoulder bone.
But you're just going to leave it in. It doesn't
No,
matter,
we'll leave
right?
it in. We'll cut it at the table. People are going to help themselves, you know, just cutting it. This, salt, pepper. I put some milk for you to boil. I have a quart of milk here.
Okay.
If you want to continue with your potato,
All right.
I'm going to take that to the grill.
All right.
We have that beautiful shoulder of veal roasting here on a barbecue that I did like 25 years ago. And what I did in that barbecue, I put a back so I can fill that up with wood, and it's like a whole wall of heat, and use it as a rotisserie with things hanging in front of it. We call cooking à la ficelle, hanging on a string. Or then I can use it at a barbecue, so it's an easy. And then during the summer, I have a lot of herb left over. We cut a tree there, which was a bay leaf, and some of the rosemary from last year. So I like to use this very often to flavor the meat. I keep it underneath here. I'm going to turn that over because it's been cooking for quite a while now. I've already turned it a couple of times, and I know it's nice and crusty. I can insert this in the thickest part of the meat, and you can use that, of course, with a thermometer. But with this here, that will give me the temperature. I put that next to my lip here, and I know it's about 150 degrees, so it's practically cooked. I can now leave that on the side, move the ashes on the other side, and leave it for an hour slowly to rest before we serve it, or then put it inside into a 170-degree oven and let it rest up to an hour before you carve it. It's going to be juicy and succulent. I love the gratin.
Me too. I love gratin de chignon.
Okay. This is the classic dish that your grandmother would do.
So you just have
Okay.
milk and what in there?
I have milk.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. That's very important that you do your potato, you wash your potato as we did here, but you don't wash them after, because we need the starch from the potato into that milk here. Okay. This now you want to bring back to a boil, and in addition to that, you want to put a little bit of cream in there.
All right.
I have some cream in the back.
How much cream?
I have a quart of milk, so you put like a good cup. You can do it as rich as you want. I know people who do a gratin dauphinois only with cream.
Whoa.
My mother would do it mostly only with milk. I think
Yeah.
a little bit like 80% milk, a little bit of cream, if you want, help. Now you want to put some garlic in there.
Oh,
I didn't
yes.
put any salt and pepper, so you want to season it
Okay.
with salt and pepper there.
Now, would it matter if you use black pepper or white pepper in this?
Julia would want to use white pepper in this because of the little black dots on it, but I like black pepper. And I'm cooking with you, so...
Black
what do you-
pepper it is.
Oh, black pepper it is. So, hey, you know, in those potatoes, this is the standard gratin dauphinois. Theoretically, you bring it to a boil or close to a boil, time at which the starch in the potato will thicken, so it gets slightly oily. Then you put it on a gratin dish, and then you put it into the oven. That's the classic way. Here we're going to do it on the grill. So, you know, we put the corn in it. I like to cut it in that direction. I've shown you that already.
Yep. I'd rather
You know,
cut it
that
in
you
the other
don't
direction.
do that. Well, you can cut it flat also like this.
Ah, see, now that's just a winner right there.
So here is what we're going to do with that now. See, to put it on the barbecue, we take pieces of paper like this, you know, aluminum foil. Good way of doing it, you do it on the outside first. So it gives you the shape.
Ah, and then put it in. Yeah.
So what you want to do per person, you know, those were all little package that you'll serve your guest. A little bit of this. You can leave them a bit longer to cool off a bit more in there. What will happen is that they get a bit softer, you know.
And then this we're just gonna wrap up.
And here, yes, you want to wrap up.
Now, do you leave air a little bit so?
You can leave a little bit of air at the end. You want to press it to have a little bit of a hat like this. To have a bit of air. And put that directly on your barbecue.
Oh, cool.
People can take a package and help themselves. You know? We're not going to put it right away on the grill because that's not going to take that long to cook compared to the veal. In the last 30, 40 minutes before you start serving, you know. And that's it.
Now what?
Now let's work on the first course, which is a big, beautiful salmon. Now this is a saumonière, you know.
Saumonière.
Saumonière, which is served with salmon. You put it in there, you cook it, and you lift it up.
Ooh.
Put your stock, you know, and that fit in there. You can see that type of thing, but you know, you need all of this practically. And it's great. I have one, I happen to have one home, but a lot of people don't have it, so I kind of work out another way to cook it in case you don't have this.
Let me.
Or if your stove is not big enough to put that on. What I have here, a large pan too, and that's a good idea to do it this way. I have carrots, celery, the green of leek, thyme, bay leaf, all kind of seasoning in there, salt and pepper. You want to cook your stock, your vegetable stock, and let it cool off. Because you want the fish to start from that temperature and go up.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah. So we'll put the fish in there to cook, and I'll bend it this way. You know what I'll do actually? I'll put it upside down because the top doesn't take as long to cook. You know, that part here doesn't take as long to cook.
Okay.
But you know what? Before we do this, I have a piece of aluminum foil here.
Hang on, I got it.
And
What do you want?
I want you to put it there in case it doesn't stuck to the side, you know?
Just put it in the.
That's it. Put it underneath. That's it. So, and then to help me take it out.
All right.
In addition to this too, I have those things, man, just in case I get problem. If I put them flat, you know, I can grab them. So I'll put a spoon there and put that on top of the spoon.
Underneath the aluminum foil.
Yeah, underneath the aluminum foil. You have to give me more water, Claudine.
Okay.
Fill up another thing of water. And then I have to put that to cook here on top of the stove. I bring the water up to here. The water should not boil anyway.
Get a smaller fish.
Get a smaller fish. Yeah, that fish is kind of big. And I'll put a piece of clean towel on top that will get wet with the water, and that it will go on top. I say a fish like this, about 30 minutes, and then you let it cool in the stock, the vegetable stock, to really get the taste of the vegetable and all that. So it cooks slowly and it cool off in the stock, and you start with cold stock. Okay, you see this is cold, or maybe a little bit tepid,
I mean, it's
you
cool.
know?
Yeah.
And you see my salmon is cooked there. Automatically it's going to break, but you know, I could go with a small knife and you would see it goes right through. It's very tender.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know, so I have the thing I'm going to go underneath here.
All right, wait. Oh, boy. This is definitely a two-person job.
A two-person job. You have it here? That's good. I feel better.
Me too.
Here. Okay. the other one. Okay.
Now, do you want me to?
I remove this. That, see the skin?
I'm sorry.
Stick a little bit. It doesn't matter. I have to take the skin out. Okay.
Okay.
And we'll clean
Here's
the
a bowl
skin out
for
of this.
whatever you.
At least on this side, and then we'll have to turn it on the other side to clean the skin on the other side, Claudine.
Okay.
During
ready?
that time, it's still a bit lukewarm. I want you to do the leek here.
All right.
So when you do a leek, the only part that you don't use is really that part. And then after, I'm cutting maybe this from the outside. Remember, you keep that because you use that for stock. Yes, this. And as it get light green in color, you know, you keep it. You keep it like this.
Perfect.
Then we open it, you know, to wash the inside. Mm-hmm. You know, and then we're going to do it. This you can keep for your stock. You gotta wash this inside.
To get all the sand out.
Yeah. Okay. And one way of doing it, which is nice, is to bundle them like this. So you know my hand is that big, so I do a bundle that size.
Okay, so you want like a string bundle.
Yeah. Leave that right there. See, the right way of doing that is that here, I tighten that to my hand here. Then I go 1, 2, maybe 3, and then I switch over 1, 2, 3 here.
Oh, and then you have extra so you can tie.
Yeah.
Oh.
You see that? Now I'll let you do this. I have boiling water here. When you have it all, you put it into the boiling water.
Okay.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to start cleaning up the. So I take out the fin here and the skin. The skin of the belly is particularly tender. You know? So remember that there we did not clean it up.
What do you mean? You didn't scale it?
I didn't scale it because it
Okay.
doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah, if you're going to take the...
Okay. You see there is a skin here, Claudine, just under the skin. You see the black flesh here? Mm-hmm. You scrape that. So it's a layer of fat, really, that you have underneath. It's easier, of course, if your salmon is really ice cold. But frankly, it is better to eat if the salmon is not too cold. That fin, I will remove that fin too. See, it's really cooked. I'm going to lift it up here. You want to lift it up here. We're going to bring it this way and turn it. I want to turn it here. Okay, so that's clean enough here.
I've got oil, vinegar, salt, pepper. You want me to put some lemon juice in here too? Or
Well,
no?
I don't think so.
Okay. But this is it.
I'm cleaning up my side here, and what I want to do, use paper towel, kind of sponge out. Here, clean up this side.
Here. Taste.
What's red in it?
Vinegar.
Oh, red vinegar.
Is that okay? Did I put too much vinegar?
No, I think actually it's pretty good. So, okay.
Okay.
You know your leek like that, you can cut them into long strips like this and put the vinaigrette right on top
here?
to season it. Yes, you want to take some of the
I was going
the
to take
juice
some of the
out.
water out.
See the juice after they have been cooked, you want to check those and
These
you
are-
want them.
I'm going to
Okay,
turn this
no,
off.
you want them to be tender. We cut them the long way because we're going to use them this way. See, for people to see the leek, I like them when they are really cooked.
So you want me to just put this right on top?
Yeah, you sprinkle some of that on top of it. Move it with your knife so it goes in between. Go on the side of the table because I'm going to bring my salmon here to finish it. Right. Okay. I have some salad here to garnish it. Give it a fresh, clean look there. I could actually put some leek on it also.
Yes. Okay. And then all the juice and all the stock and everything is all nice together. And
Okay. Yeah. You
tastes
put
good.
all your vinaigrette here?
No, I have like a little bit left, but I didn't know.
Okay.
You want...
Put a little more there, top of it. And I'm going to do a sauce, a hollandaise sauce, which we finish with some whipped cream. So I have melted butter here. I have 2 cups of butter, but all the bottom part of it is the oil. I have 8 egg yolk here because
Very
that
nice.
should be enough. I need a little bit of lemon juice in there.
Okay.
So the hollandaise sauce, you have to be on it all the time. The first part of the hollandaise sauce is actually what we call the sabayon.
Is that enough?
Yep. Now you want to give me a little bit of water, at least a tablespoon of water. Yeah, that's fine. If I feel that it's going too fast, yeah, I can put my finger, it should be warm, but not too hot. Then I move it up the stove like this
Oh,
and continue the emulsion. Now you see it, when I beat it,
Thick.
no, but into the thread of the whisk, you can see the bottom of the pan. That indicates that this is cooked enough.
Okay, do you want this?
When I was an apprentice, you know, I worked in Paris and I was at the Plaza Athénée and I was sent to work at Phuket on the Champs-Élysées, you know.
Oh, wow.
And the chef gave me, I'm going to ask you to help me put the butter in it like this. We don't want to go too fast there. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. Now stop 1 second, incorporate. Okay, again.
So what happened at Phuket?
A bit more, and when you pour it more on my whisk there. That's it. So the chef told me you have to do the Hollandaise sauce. You know, the commis, and it will be okay, 45 egg yolk. At 45 egg yolk and about 8-9 pounds of butter, whatever it was. And well, I was really afraid that I was going to scramble those egg yolk. So I beat into it on a big thing with a big whisk. I keep beating into it and not giving enough heat to it. So the thing ended up being foamy and foamy and foamy, going above the rim of the thing, but without any consistency. It didn't have any. Go ahead, now we can go a bit faster. Boy, did he yell at me. Now when you do it with clarified butter, as we are doing it here, then you can see that it gets much thicker. If I were doing it just with plain soft butter, which I do sometimes, since I would use the milky part of the butter, which is milk, you know, then that would dilute it and make a bit thinner, you know.
Is that good? I don't want to get any of the...
No, you can put them on top of it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Claudine, a dash of salt.
Yes.
And very often on top of this, I put a dash of cayenne, you know. But it, for some reason, it really doesn't take much. Okay. That's our Hollandaise sauce. Now, you see, the sauce mousseline you serve at the last moment. If I were to put the whipped cream in it now, it's cold whipped cream with a dash of salt, it kind of collapses. So you put it at the last moment. We used to serve it in a sauce boat there, the Hollandaise sauce with the whipped cream on top, and when the waiter served, he would kind of stir it together. So let me show you how to serve one portion of this with a bit of the Hollandaise sauce. Like that, you cut one portion up to the central bone. Let's say this would be one portion. And from the center here, see? So that come. Now, you see that salmon? You see the inside of the salmon?
It's perfect.
It's just barely cooked. So I would serve one portion like that, be enough. Maybe let's put a couple of leeks like that around. You know, we have some salmon caviar there. It would be nice with it. Okay, and with this, if I want to serve it now, I would serve.
Now, how are you gonna
some
incorporate
Hollandaise
this?
sauce.
Or?
No, I'm going to put it right on top of it. I would put it just like that on top of it.
Really?
And it would melt into it as you're eating it. And this is our salmon with mousseline sauce. And now, the moment of truth.
What is it supposed to feel like?
Oh, you unmold it.
All right. If you want me to, I will.
Oh, you scare me. So we don't forget to open those things.
Yeah.
All right. Nice glass here.
Now, how are you gonna?
Well, I'm going to do just as I can, yeah? Okay. Remember that fortunately, we have those pieces of thing
Wait,
there.
here, I'll hold two.
No, but you see, it's no problem anyway.
Oh, well.
I don't think it would, anyway, just in case.
I think that's just a great idea. Can you do that with other
A security
food?
blanket. Yes.
That's just parchment
look at
paper.
that.
That's cool.
Yes. So here we want to put a little bit of that sauce around. You better turn this for me. Okay, and actually, you know, I probably should put a bit dripping on top, you know. Maybe not all over, but And the rest of that, you should serve your sauce in there. I mean, now we have a little bit of the cream sauce that I can put around, and you can do a little design.
Will you put some on top? Just a little bit? That's it. Okay, wait. Let me try this.
Yeah, you can do it with this. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, well.
It's messing it up, that's all it's doing.
But I like the little streaky things.
Yeah, but see, you can do it with,
Oh, yep, that's it.
that's what you like, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And of course, I put some of that sauce in there also. Yep. All right, this here. No, we have 2 sauce and probably sprig of mint. You
You
want
can
some?
cover up my mess with the mint.
Exactly. This is great.
And it's done.
Okay. Okay, let's do the other dessert now.
Here we
Finish
go.
it up at least. See, it's nice and set now. And whether you do it in this or that, I have a little bit of whipped cream here
Oh, cool.
that I can decorate with. Just very simple.
Oh.
You ready too?
Mm-hmm. And humor me. Give me a bigger one in the middle.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, you
Okay,
decorate
you do
it.
yours.
Well, I'll do this one.
Okay. I have rose petals.
Okay.
Candied rose petals, I should say. You could use real rose petals in here too.
Okay.
Well, I think they're both beautiful, and I can't wait to dig in.
So now that we're ready for the dessert, we can finish with the veal. With a big rose, Claudine.
It is just beautiful. I'll get this. I got it.
Okay.
And I'll follow you with the potatoes.
Well, that roast has been a few hours on the barbecue, but after that, it's been in the oven for a while, just resting here. You know, occasionally you put a little bit of the natural juice on top.
So it went from grill to oven to resting to...
No, in the oven, it was just resting,
Okay.
you know. I like to put that outside and let the people help themselves. You know, you see, you still have the bone here.
Oh,
Look how
that's right.
tender it is.
Whoa, here, wait.
No, that's okay.
There we go.
And we have that natural juice here. Want to give me a bowl for that?
Okay. Ooh, and we have this herb butter too.
Yeah, the herb butter goes with it. That's the best part, you know. When I do
Just
a
a
green,
great big piece of bread in that.
I do a green salad and do a vinaigrette. Put a little bit of that in the vinaigrette, you know.
Oh, yes. Well, I have these, and I'm going to unwrap one.
Yes. See, this is the top of the shoulder, and the top of the shoulder is always very moist and very tender, you know. I mean, this is the shoulder blade. It's one of the best roasts in my opinion. And what I like to do at home, I put that directly on the table and let people cut themselves. So you can do it on this side if they want it. It is very moist and nice. But I probably would want to have a little bit of the crust, you know? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes?
That
Oh, good.
didn't run all over the place.
You know, you can serve that directly. You can serve your package directly with the thing, but I think it'd be a little better to get it out of the package. Certainly a bit more elegant for a special holiday.
And I'm just going to...
A little bit of
A
that.
little bit. I mean, because if not, it's... You know.
Give me a little piece of parsley there.
Okay.
Place on that. You know what I do often? I put a brush here and let the people brush their piece of meat. Here it is. And wait a minute. Let me put a bit of that anyway. This is our grilled shoulder of veal with herb butter, potato, and corn package. certainly America has been very good to me. Otherwise, I would never have stayed here. My parents had a restaurant. I was doing very well. I'd worked in very big place in Paris, even for the French president. I just came here because I wanted to see America. I came to New York, I loved New York, and I stayed. That's about as simple as this. I really am an American because I have chosen at an adult age to live in a specific country without being forced to choose by economic, political, racial, or other type of reason. And in that context, even in Rome, my roots are in France. My mother is still in France, brother and all that, and I have a great deal of attachment to France. I'm certainly more American now than French. In France, I feel that I would have at least got into opening great restaurant, maybe even 3-star restaurant. But the structure is such that I wouldn't have had the freedom that I've had here. One day someone say, let's go for Chinese, let's go for Thai. That type of diversity of food due to the ethnicity of the country is quite exciting for me. And in France, I probably wouldn't have expanded my culinary palate to that extent. When my mother comes to visit me, she loves food that I prepare and she says, that's really good, but it's not French for her. So if my food now is not French, since I know it's not Indian or Swahili, it's probably what we call American cuisine. So whether it's the 4th of July, or Bastille Day, or Christmas, or Easter, or Hanukkah, or any of those holidays, in the family, we have a very diverse family. We do celebrate a great deal.
Marchons, marchons, qu'un sang impur.
Having good food, good wine, family around. Nothing better in life. I am now a pure Connecticut Yankee with that specific Connecticut drawl, Yankee drawl, so I know that people can recognize wherever I go in the country, that guy is from Connecticut.
Papa, I wanted to show you the invitations I did. I don't even think you ever saw them.
No.
It's just
Show them to me.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just a folded, literally a folded piece of paper. It's kind of clear, almost like a parchment paper. And then I snagged the menu. And, well, this one obviously I didn't send, but I messed around on the computer with a couple of different fonts and just did something very, very simple.
That's my artwork.
I know, I thieved your artwork. That's why I figured I should finally show them to you.
Great.
And you can do it, you know, I ended up choosing the blue one because I like blue.
It looks beautiful.
But
That's great.
I just thought it was very pretty.
And?
And, oh yeah, I pulled up the wines.
Good, I see that, yes.
So we have a champagne,
Uh-huh.
which I really, really happen to like this champagne. It's really nice.
yes.
And of course, a good cold Chardonnay. And we
That's
have
gonna
enough.
be good.
It's going to be really
With
good.
the rillettes
Yeah.
and with the salmon.
And it can eat big enough, it can
You can
even
even
go
have some
through.
rillettes with the champagne.
Oh, yeah. And it can even hold through the veal. It should be fine with the veal if people want to stay with white.
What do we have this one?
Well,
here?
you know, you happen to have a fair amount of that in the cellar, and it's a nice Sangiovese, so let's do it. We got 3 countries.
Di Montepulciano. So
Yep.
we have the 4th of July, we have the 14th of July, and we have Garibaldi.
We have everything.
Okay, so that's great.
So-
you know, if you choose those, I have enough in the cellar.
Yeah, let's go get the rest.
Let's go get the rest.
Are you good at this? Do you know how to do this? I don't know if you know what you're doing. It'll just like
Well, the family is shopped, cooked, and cleaned for 2 days. And because we did so much ahead, we get to enjoy our own party. Tony, you want to pass around with that?
Sure, no problem. I'd be happy to.
the red, right?
For my time. Oh, this is the Rillette. Rabbit Rillette?
We have a connoisseur here. Gloria sets a beautiful table. None of these decorations are expensive, but she cares and takes the time, and it looks great. Okay,
Hello.
come on. All right,
Come on, food.
food. Anyone can cook, but you need to really plan, even for a small dinner, to get all of the food onto the plate at the same time. Well, everyone, we had a poached salmon to start with a cold mousseline sauce. And now we're going to have that big shoulder of veal we did on the barbecue, really moist. And we're going to have an herb butter spread on it and a bit of gratin dauphinois, that is scalloped potato with garlic, cream, and some corn in it. Now, if you have a piece even of that one,
I'm gonna give you a little bit of wine. And you can't actually be at my house and, you know, have an empty glass. It just doesn't make sense. So, cheers.
well, we're coming to the end of the meal.
Life is a bowl of cherries.
Life is a bowl of cherries, and the cherries are in a Pépin. You know, the umbrella is Pépin in France, hence my name. So that's why I always sign my painting with a little umbrella. But at the end of the meal, cherries are the best. But
Well,
in addition to cherries,
we have other stuff.
a chocolate gourmand, which is a kind of rich chocolate mousse.
And we also have this beautiful berry-soaked cake, and it's got a crème anglaise, and it's really, really good.
That's actually very British. It's a puree of red fruit of summer soaked into the cake, and I'm sure you're going to love it. Well, we enjoy having you with us for that 4th of July or 14th of July party. I mean,
Or
the
both.
Feast of Freedom,
The
of
Feast of
Independence.
Freedom, right.
And we all are going to raise our glass to freedom and independence and say, happy cooking!
Happy cooking!